Right, welcome back to the We Are T1D podcast. My name is Mike, and that guy over there isn't actually over there. No, guys, I'm sorry to announce, Jack will not be here this week. No, we didn't have a fight, I promise. Nah, he's just dealing with some personal stuff, but he should be back next week. But in the meantime, it's currently Saturday. I have less than 12 hours to get out an episode. And I'm on my own. So, yeah, I'm actually shitting myself. But, you know, I'm going to throw a bit of structure into this podcast for a change. So, in today's episode, I'll be talking about my endo appointment, where I got treated like a VIP. I made the doctor laugh with an inappropriate joke. And I also got prescribed Fierce, only to discover it was out of stock. We'll also cover how my wife is just amazing and she went on a mission to get my new insulin. My battle with that new Novo Smart Pen, you know, the Novo Pen 6, I think it's called, where I actually had to do some reading. Yeah, you know, the little manual. I've done a few meal preps, so I'll talk about that. And of course, I'm going to throw in my weekly Oopsie, this time involving a Hypo and way too many bottles of wine. Oh, yeah. And also, I'm going to throw in a quick mini Q&A segment where you guys get to ask me a question and I'll answer it openly and honestly on the podcast, which have been submitted through our WhatsApp community and also via Instagram. So, yeah, I hope you like this episode. Good luck to me. Let me roll that intro where you can hear familiar voice.
Welcome to the We Are T1D podcast,
the realest type 1 diabetes podcast online.
Hosted by myself, Mike, diagnosed at the age of 10.
and myself, Jack, diagnosed at the age of 30.
We are just two mates giving you an insight into life with this chronic condition.
Yes, we are adults, and although we try not to swear, it may happen occasionally.
Yeah, as Jack said, we are adults, but please take what we say as guidance and not medical advice.
No, trust me, we are not doctors.
We are just here to make sure no type 1 diabetic ever feels alone.
Right, so guys, let me start with my endo appointment. Straight away, things felt different. Basically, I've moved hospitals now back to my original hospital. Also, my endo has changed, so it's a totally new person, and I was just nervous, I'm not going to lie. Anyways, so they moved the ward from where it used to be, so I had to walk around all the hospital and get a bit lost. It was signposted, but not very well. But then it was signposted well, so I did find it. Okay. Yeah, I walked straight in, went to the reception, said my name. They handed me a urine pot, you know, the standard procedure. Went to the toilet, done a wee-wee. Come back in, and I went to give it in to the receptionist, but she just looked at me and said, "Oh, no, I only accept flowers." So we both giggled about that. I mean, fair play to her, it was a good joke. She's probably used it a few times. So, yeah, I just, so I'm there standing awkward, just clutching a fresh sample of piss. And then I go and sit down. And then I'm sitting down there, and someone goes, "Oh, what brings you here?" I go, "Diabetes." They go, "Oh, yeah, me too." I'm thinking, all right, mate, what is going on? Everyone's a comedian today. But yeah, I was literally waiting minutes, and I mean minutes. I get called in to see the doctor, and I didn't have my, you know, usually you go to hospital, you get your weight check, your blood test, and all that malarkey. Nah, I didn't get none of that. I literally felt like a VIP. I was like, oh. I went into the room. I sat down with the doctor. Turns out he's really, really nice. And we had the usual chit chat. And then he hits me with, "So, how is your diabetes?" So I said, "Mate, where do I start?" Obviously, I'm going to start ranting about how my Nova Rapid just isn't rapid. Even if I pre-bolus, it just don't work. But let's be honest, I don't really pre-bolus. And he said, "Yeah, you're spiking after food, but that's normal. And then it should come down." And I said, "No, this is the problem." I said, "I will spike, stay there, then I have to inject. It won't move again, and I have to inject again, and then it comes down." And I explained a situation where I carb counted correctly, done the right dose, went up to I can't remember what I went up to, high numbers. I had to inject, and then I had to inject again, and it only brought me down to 7. He was like, oh, okay. He goes, so are you using the Fierce? But I was like, what? He goes, yeah, last time you was in, there was talks about switching you to Fierce, but you was going to go on a trial for it. And I was like, oh, yeah. I forgot to ring up and get it sorted out. I thought, oh, great. So, boom, he writes me a prescription for Fierce instantly. I thought, thank you, mate. And then we get into the talk about insulin pumps. He offers me 3 different pumps. He's like, do you want a pump? I said, I'm not really sure yet. I said, I'm not at that stage where I'm like, yeah, I want a pump. And plus, I want to try this Fierce first. And he goes, well, it's about a year's waiting list. So shall I just say you want a pump now? So when you are ready, is there ready for you? And I was like, no, I'm not ready yet. So that was that. And then spoke about my level. He goes, your levels ain't too bad, to be honest. He goes, they're all right. He goes, what do you do for a living and that? And I explained, I work in Lidl. I run a podcast, do designs. He's like, oh, you do a podcast? I said, yeah, about diabetes, funny enough. And he was like, oh, right. I was like, yeah, We Are T1D, search it up. I said, you'll be famous next week. He just burst out laughing. And then I wanted to ask about pumps, because this question gets me. Like, this a very manly question. I don't know, women might ask it too, but I said, so does the pump get in way of intimate moments? So he told me you can disconnect it for an hour. So I was like, an hour? I said, wow, my wife is lucky. So we both burst out laughing, because obviously I have the maturity of a 12-year-old, and yeah, he got the vibe of me straight away and he matched my energy. So it's just great. So I left the appointment. I was just excited for my new insulin. So I head to the hospital pharmacy, give my details, and they hit me with, it's a 30 to 40 minute wait. Oh, I was like, oh, fine. I pop outside, ring my wife, tell her all the good news. She's buzzing for me. Then I go back inside, sit down, and hop onto the little We Are T1D WhatsApp group community. And to be honest, this is where, does it go wrong, or do I just become entertainment for the whole pharmacy waiting room? Basically, Rebecca in our group, she said to Lee, I gave you a follow on TT. Now, as I said earlier, I've got the maturity of a 12-year-old, where any other person would read that as TikTok. But my brain saw titty. So there's me laughing like an absolute lunatic in the middle of a silent, miserable waiting room. So, and obviously I've got the nickname as a fucking hyena in our group because I'm stupid and I laugh a lot. So, but of course, laughter is contagious. So suddenly I've got an old Irish man next to me and some random woman giggling along with me. So it kind of cheered up the room. So I felt good about that. And then got into conversations, killed a bit more time just chatting to them too. And then the pharmacist comes over and my insulin is out of stock. But no, not just for me. It's a national shortage. I think, great, I've been prescribed something that I can't get. It was like I've been told I've won the lottery, but couldn't claim the money. It was absolutely devastating. My excitement left my body instantly. So I leave the hospital and I ring my wife, I explain the whole situation. I do a bit of research myself and I realise that it's the pre-filled flex pens that Fierce has a shortage on, and it's not the insulin cartridges. I don't know about cartridges because I'm just stick to what I know. I've always used pre-filled, Nova Rapid and Levemir. Oh, I also found out Levemir is going to be discontinued in 2 years. I'm thinking, fucking hell, great. But he said we'll meet that hurdle when we come to it. Sorry, you know me, I've got a structure, but I'm going to go everywhere. So I think, okay. So if I can get the cartridges and a pen that it works on, I should be able to do it. So I ring my wife, explain it all. And this is where my wife proves yet again she is the best human alive. So my wife goes on a full Mission Impossible mode. And 2 days later, on Valentine's Day, she presents me with a brand new Nova 6 pen and a prescription of Fierce cartridges. Like, I am over the fucking moon. Forget flowers, forget chocolates. Insulin is the real love language to a type 1 diabetic. I mean, you're keeping me alive, baby. I love you. I honestly don't give her enough credit, but she is incredible. She's always there, always making sure I'm sorted. And somehow she does it all without making a fuss. I would actually be lost without her, if I'm honest. So Amber, you're an incredible person and I love you so much. But now, the Novo Pen 6, great bit of kit. But my God, I had to read the manual. It took me multiple attempts to connect it to the Freestyle Libre app. And I was this close to throwing it across the room, but finally I got it working. And now it logs my injections automatically. Something I never really bothered to do, like the manual logging of your injections. And to be honest, now it's logging it. It's actually made me think twice about like rage bolusing, because now I know I'm being tracked. Also, top tip, if you don't change your 2-unit needle squirt to a flow check in the app, it logs it as actual injections. So, yeah, guys, that is my fiasco. Fiasco? Oh, fuck me, that is amazing. That's my fiasco of what happened. So, yeah, I'm now on fiasp. So, but apart from that, I've also, because I was seeing the endo, I also thought I'm going to start meal prepping again. So, no more guessing carbs, no more, that looks like 50 grams. Like, proper planned out meals. But honestly, it helps so much. If you haven't tried it yet, I highly recommend it. And of course, what would a week be without a diabetic or oopsie? Yeah, right, I missed the old jingle. Let's bring Jack's voice back for a little bit. It's time for the weekly oopsie.
Oopsie.
Oopsie. Right, so my weekly oopsie. So picture this, I'm at work, I'm hypo, I'm about 3.1. And obviously, I knew it was coming. I took some Lucozade, but it just didn't kick in quick enough. But instead of, pausing, sorting myself out, getting someone to cover me on the self-checkout, I powered through and just kept helping customers and doing my job. And this is how I accidentally charged a guy for 66 bottles of wine instead of 6. Yeah, a slight overcharge. Luckily, he's a regular though. The next day when I refunded him the extra 60 bottles, he just laughed and blamed it on the fact we talk too much. The guy's an absolute legend. Lesson learned, maybe don't do maths while hypo, or just work while hypo, or when you're hypo, just sort out your fucking hypo. Because no doubt I'm going to get in shit and work for it now, but oh well, it happens, I guess. Play the diabetes card, get out of jail free. Nah, but it is a fuck up, and I should be more responsible with myself and more responsible with someone's money, because when they're paying £200 when it really shouldn't be, whoops. So that's my oopsie. Now time for the juicy stuff, the Q&A. So, first question is, what's your go-to meal if you're sick of fighting highs all day and really resistant? My go-to meal is an omelette. It fills me up and it doesn't spike me. So definitely an omelette. What's your go-to meal if you're sick of being low all day? Ooh, it's a bag of popcorn. Do you know that? If I'm low and popcorn makes me happy. Sweet and salty kind. Guys, I'll put up a poll. What's your favorite popcorn? Next we have, if you could have any food or drink that you don't have to bolus for and had perfect levels anytime you had it, what would it be? Ooh, this is a really, really good one. Any food or drink. Can I pick a food and then pick a drink? So my drink would be alcohol, because you go high and then you go low when you have a beer. So obviously alcohol. And you just get to enjoy the alcohol rather than diabetes on top of it. As for my food, do you know what? It would be, guys, if you're a long-time listener, you will know I love my wraps, my tortilla wraps that I put like frankfurters, cheese, ham, jalapenos, everything in. They always spike and ruin me. So it'd have to be that. If not that, then just crisps. Just a little snack. But yeah, definitely the wraps. Right. Can I just do a little shout out to Tara for her birthday? She said other people stole what she was going to ask, so happy birthday. Next one. If you could have anyone in the world on the podcast, who would it be? Now, this one is extremely, extremely easy for me because it's the person I relate to as soon as I think about being a child and being diabetic. It's Gary Mabbott, who used to play for Tottenham. Although, yes, I am an Arsenal fan. It's Gary Mabbott. He also played for England. And I believe he's an ambassador for Diabetes UK. I would love to have Gary Mabbott on this podcast because as a child, he was my pen pal. My mum used to get letters sent to and from him. And yeah, that's just one memory I will never forget of my childhood with diabetes. Like, he used to tell me I have a Mars bar at half time and stuff like that. Yes. If anybody knows Gary Mabbott or can contact him, please get him to contact the podcast. I would love so much to get him on. The guy is an absolute legend in my mind. What's your favorite takeaway or fast food? I don't actually have one. I actually don't have a favorite. I just fancy different stuff at different times. What is your favorite food or meal ever? Ooh, again, it depends on my mood. Like, sometimes I can feel like I just want like a massive. Oh, wait. Sorry. I know what my favorite meal ever is. It's a T-bone steak from Miller and Carter. Oh my God. I really hope they've brought back the T-bone steak. They took it off the menu. I was devastated. All right, so next we have, if you could travel anywhere in the world, where would you go? There's two places I want to go, actually. Australia and also America, but a hot place. A hot place in America, not the cold states. No one wants to go cold states. But yeah, what's your go-to way of dealing with anxiety of future complications? Or do you just try not to think about it? To be honest, I tell myself, you're fucking up. Sort it out. Because anxiety is worrying about the future. Don't worry about the future. Deal with the now. That is how I deal with that. I don't worry about what's going to happen. I just worry about what I am doing. If you live in the past, you're depressed. If you live in the future, you're anxious. If you live in the now, you can find happiness. That is a quote I heard somewhere, and I try and live by. Next question. What good things has diabetes brought you? It is the community aspects of diabetes that I love. Like, you're never alone. There's always someone you can find and chat to relate to, or someone that can relate to you. But the good things diabetes has brought me is, apart from that, I'd like to be normal. What's the scariest experience from a low or a high blood sugar? Oh, someone else has asked. They actually said, I'm going to be a bit dark here. What's the most scared you've been relating to your diabetes? So are they the same question or different? My scariest experience is probably when I went low and woke up to paramedics around me. That is probably my most scariest experience, but not the most scared I've been. The most scared I've been is when I was really addicted to the Lucozade Sport, and I used to just drink it like it was water. I got really high. It was during my neglect stages, so I didn't inject, and I was DKA. And the panic attacks where your breathing changes so much from DKA, that's scary, because when you can't breathe properly, it's a realization of, holy fuck, I'm not all right. And that scared the hell out of me. I was crying my eyes out, just wanting to breathe. So yeah, that is the most scared I've been relating to my diabetes. I suppose that comes under high sugar as well. Yeah, fuck me. That was a deep one. Thanks, guys. What's your funniest or strangest interaction with a customer when you are hypo? We hear it on the radio sometimes at work when you laugh and ramble in hypo, but interested in if the customers ever banter back or just look at you like, what? Customers always bounce back, because when I'm hypo, like, I'm that hyper stage where I'm just waffle, I'm smiling, I'm happy. So they always banter back, as you asked. So they see the funny side of it. They walk away smiling. They probably, after getting away from me, think, what the fuck was he on about? Because I don't even know what I waffle about sometimes. But yeah, yeah, I do it over the radio as well, do I? Shit, fuck. Yeah, so guys, if anyone works in Lidl, yeah, let's keep it interesting. Oh, this is a good one. How should a non-diabetic help a diabetic if they are high or low? Do you know what? Unless they're on the floor, unresponsive, do not help them. Do you know why? Because we've had this condition for long enough to know how to deal with it ourselves. Like, if we're going low, we know we need to eat. Maybe you can subtly suggest, yeah, do you want a bit of chocolate or something? Because it's there handy, so we'll use it. But the advice is to not help. And if we're high, just leave us the fuck alone. Seriously. Or if we just want to have a vent, like a little, just let us do it, because we just want to, it's a release of glucose through verbal. That's the way I'm going to do it. So yeah, another one. How does your wife react to you being hypo? Oh, she just finds me annoying as fuck. She just tells me, go eat. Like, she doesn't have a worry about me. She might if I've had a drink or during the night sometimes, but generally if I'm up and about and have a hypo, she'll just go, fucking hell, just go eat something. Like, that's real love right there. What else do we have? Where's my favorite place to inject? It's my thighs and sometimes my bum. Yeah, it's just where I've always done it. Have you injected in your arm since that one time? No, I haven't. Will I again? Maybe in the summer when I'm wearing t-shirts. But until that time, no. Are you nervous about doing a podcast about Jack? Yes, I am fucking shitting myself. I'm at the end of it now. But I'll tell you what, not having someone to bounce off, because I'm a very, like, do they call it improv? I just react to situations and people, and I bounce off energies, or I create an energy that is not current. That's kind of how I am. And doing it without Jack, it's just me, and I'm totally naked on this podcast. What you seeing, hearing, not seeing because it ain't video, but what you're hearing now is just me. And yeah, it's different. Would I do my own podcast? Oh, that is an interesting question. I wouldn't do my own podcast on diabetes, but doing my own podcast, if I had the right subjects or talking points, then yes. But regarding a diabetes podcast, no, I'd never do one by myself, because I care too much about someone else's experience with diabetes to just waffle about myself. That's why I found this episode quite hard. But yeah, guys, that about wraps up this episode. So that's been my week. New insulin, meal prepped, laughing with doctors and in pharmacies, mildly overcharging customers. Who says diabetes is boring? And also you had the Q&A session where I'm honest, I'm open. But thank you for sticking with me on this solo episode. Hopefully Jack will be back next week. But if not, I might just start charging you all for 66 bottles of wine until he returns. But yeah, as always, if you have any win of the week stories or diabetic disasters or just want to chat, drop me a message on Instagram at T1D_Mike or in the We Are T1D WhatsApp community group. All right, guys. So yeah, I hope you have an amazing Sunday. I hope this episode is good, listenable. Did you make it this far? Fuck the other poll. Did you make it to the end? Will be the poll. Have a great one, guys, and catch you next week. Same time, same place.